Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 38 of Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I hope you guys enjoyed the episodes with Dalton, and I'm post-commentating this one, by the way. Dalton wasn't on this episode originally, so you're not missing any of my Skype conversation with him. He was just on the episodes that preceded this one, so you're not missing anything. Okay, so we just set them free. They told him they can go.
You're back! You've come to let old Griff out, right? Right? I don't want to beg, but I'm more than willing.
You can just keep waiting, Griff. We'll get you out of there when it suits us.
We used to be so close, sis. Now, I know we've had our differences, but I really need to get out of here now. No fooling.
Yeah, you can find your way from there, right? Can you manage that? What? Is there something else?
Well, I wanted to thank you. And, you look like you're doing well. Financially, I mean. Say, could you spare me a few credits to get back on my feet?
You're hitting me up for credits. I don't believe this. Lena was right about you, Griff. We should have just left you to the Sand People. Don't talk to me anymore. Ever.
That didn't go well. Sis was always a little too fiery for her own good. She'll cool down in time. She'll be okay. We had our fights before. Too bad, though. I really could have used a helping hand right now. You may have saved my life, but I don't have a single credit to my name. Say, you wouldn't be able to spare me some credits, just till I get back on my feet, you know? That's it, huh? Figured you'd be able to spare a bit more than that. I'll take whatever I can get. Don't worry about me. I've already got a job waiting for me. Krita, the manager over at the Zirka supply shop, said I could come work for him if I ever get tired of the mines. I think I'll go take him up on his offer. Maybe there's something else you can help me with. I need to talk to a guy first and set up the details, but if you're interested in a job, come see me in Greta's shop. Goodbye, Mission. I'm glad you're not dead.
Okay, so he's going to run back to Anchorhead, and we need to visit him when we are next in Anchorhead. I actually had some sound problems with those 4 episodes, though, because I can't seem to find a Skype call recorder that records the Skype call and nothing else. Every single Skype call recorder that I find seems to record all the sounds the computer makes during the Skype call, including the call itself. And that included the noise for this video game. So getting it lined up was practically impossible, so I'm sure it was more than noticeable.
Query, what do you wish to ask of him, Master? Protocol. This will be a very sensitive topic. Translation. Translation. He says that the fact that you have to ask, this is just one more example of your ignorance as an outsider, Master. He says you are blind. Translation. His people believe they are part of the land, living with it. You and your kind dare to raise yourself above it. You remove yourself. Translation. That act of removal makes you an outsider, separate from all that is important. You could never understand how unwelcome you are. Translation. Translation. He says that outsiders use machines to convey them and to make their lives easier. This severs a connection with the land. Translation. Connection to the soil must be made through flesh. A sacred animal is the only external tool to be used. Translation. Translation. He says that the use of these blasphemous things will only be tolerated because outsider interference has forced it upon them. Translation. If your kind had not come here, he would not have to defend their ways or their land. Translation. Translation. He says that the robes are sacred, Master, and you would not understand. Sand people are never uncovered outside of the most private moments. Translation. Translation. Never. That is their way, Master. Protocol. Is that wise, Master? They may have assumed that the disguises you used were replicas instead of being taken off their dead. Translation. Translation. The result is predictable. You have desecrated their dead. Happily, it seems the piece is over. It is time to kill.
Okay, I screwed up there, and I'm going to load the game and try this again because I want to get this right. And I eventually did get this right. You have to be very, very careful when you're talking to this guy because if you say the wrong thing or talk too long to him, you wind up offending him, and him and his people wind up attacking you. It's very, very easy to do. It's much more difficult to talk to this guy without offending him or saying the wrong thing or anything like that. So you might want to save before you talk to him so that you can pick and choose the different different conversation options and see what works and what doesn't. That's what I would recommend doing. That's ultimately what I did here, and I eventually get it right. Let's go back here and talk to him some more.
Query. What do you wish to ask? Protocol. This will be a very Translation. Translation. He says that he will not, Master. There is one storyteller in each clan, and only he may recite the histories. Translation. Translation. He says that you don't understand. They must never be told to someone who might say them incorrectly out of ignorance. Translation. To speak them in error is a blasphemy punishable by death. Only their greatest warriors are even permitted to listen to the tales. Translation. Translation. He doesn't know, Master. His people usually kill outsiders. Since you are an outsider yourself, that would not suffice. Translation. The greatest challenge for a warrior is to face a great dragon, the largest predator on Tatooine. Fight one of those, and bring back a dragon pearl. Discussed. I think he's making fun of you, Master. He doesn't believe an outsider could do such a thing. Translation. Translation. There is a dragon in the far eastern Dune Sea, but he claims you could never defeat it. Here is a map to the area. Translation. There is a hunter, a Twi'lek, that is sometimes seen out there. Perhaps he would be of some help. Translation. Translation. Stones polished in the gullet of the beast. Apparently they are valuable items. Protocol. We should not keep him long. Translation. Translation. He says that you already have a map to the eastern Dune Sea, where we will find the star map. Translation. His people found it, but didn't scavenge it because a crate dragon took up residence in the excavation. Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
Okay, so we have acquired a map of the Eastern Dune Sea that we need to be able to explore the Eastern Dune Sea in the first place. Now, if you remember, there was a Twi'lek hunter in the hunting lodge. I would assume that this is the Twi'lek that the leader of the Sand People is referring to, so let's go try to find him and talk to him, shall we? We also probably should talk to Griff once we're in town, because he wanted to speak to us. And see, he said he's got some kind of job that he's working on and he wants our help. Let's go take care of that, shall we? Anyway, yeah, I was talking about the sound quality on the previous episodes. I used a Skype call recorder, and the Skype call recorder didn't just record the Skype call. It recorded all the audio that the computer was producing at the time, which included the audio for the game itself, and there was audio for the game itself in the video that I recorded. That presents a little bit of a problem, because I have two copies of the game's audio, one in the background of the Skype call, and the other in the video itself. And I could not get them aligned perfectly, and for some reason I made sync points, and the sync points left the alignment pretty far off at all times. So I hope it wasn't that noticeable for you guys when you were watching the episodes, and I am sorry about that in advance. I just wanted to have someone hang out with me and talk with me while I played the game, you know, a guest commentator on this. And I've tried to get a couple of other people, but the other people that I talked to about it had not actually played this game before. So I was down to him in specific. And honestly, though, he hasn't played the game either, so what can you do? I told him in advance, you're probably going to get some story spoilers, which I don't think he got too much, because I got past the majority of the... I had already done the majority of the storytelling in previous episodes on Tatooine, where I would run around and talk to everybody in the city of Anchorhead. I'd gotten that out of the way first before he entered into the picture and was in those 4 episodes. But I really hope you guys enjoyed those 4 episodes and my working with him and him post-commentating this kind of thing and stuff like that. I thought it was fun. I thought it was enjoyable. Would love to get more guest commentators in the future. but I can't guarantee that. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy the commentary that I come up with as I'm playing throughout this absolutely stellar game. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. We're nearing the end of Tatooine, actually. Obviously, we need to go to the Dune Sea, and while we're at the Dune Sea, we need to take care of a crate dragon. And when we take care of the crate dragon, we can, I would assume, get to the star map, because every clue we've seen so far seems to suggest that the star map is behind somewhere that the crate dragon is guarding. Let's go talk to Iziz since we freed his people. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, we gained some experience, and he's pretty pleased with us, so I imagine we should shop with him or something, and the Jawas always sell stuff. But we should shop with him, then he'll probably give us some kind of a discount or something because he likes us. So that's cool. We need to find the hunting lodge. That is the cantina. That is not the hunting lodge. The hunting lodge, I believe, is back toward the beginning of this town of Anchorhead. Going to probably visit another planet very, very soon. Well, I know when we're visiting another planet. You guys will know soon, because we're not too far away. Let's go into the Zerka office, because I believe Griff is in here, and we will talk to Griff and see exactly what it is that he wants us to do. He wanted us to do something. There he is. Hey, Griff. Took you a second to load.
Ah, just the person I was hoping to see.
Save it, Griff. I'm not talking to you. I want no part of whatever you're involved in.
Okay, sis, I see you're still mad. Fair enough. I don't think you could help me with this anyway. It's more of a job for your friend here. As you may know, tack glands can be refined to a very potent powder. It's the primary ingredient in Teresian ale. That's what makes it so strong. Of course, now that Taris is pretty much wiped from the face of the map, Teresian ale has become somewhat scarce and very, very valuable. Luckily, I know the secret recipe. I know this guy. He's with the Exchange. Now, if I give him a small sample of Teresian ale, he says he can synthesize it and reproduce it in mass quantities. Problem is, I need one of those tack glands to make the first batch. And now that Taris is a smoking ruin, the only place to find tack is on Kashyyyk. If you can get your hands on one of those tack glands, I'll make it worth your while.
Griff, are you blind? Can't you see you're talking to a Jedi? We're out here trying to save the galaxy. We can't waste time on this.
Please, you have to help me. I promised this guy from the Exchange a sample of Teresian ale. If I don't come through for him, he's gonna break my legs. Or worse. Yeah, I knew you'd come through for me. You won't regret this. You'll see. Just don't take too long, okay? This guy from the Exchange could stop by any day. I kinda told him I already had the stuff, so if he shows up and I'm empty-handed, well, let's just say I really, really hope it doesn't come to that.
Okay, so we need to go to Kashyyyk. We need to get some tack glands for him and bring them back to him on this planet. That was the second planet that I was planning on going to anyway because, as I have mentioned in the past, there is a character on Kashyyyk that is the last party member that we will be able to pick up. I want to have all of my party members before I visit the other planets. And there's one more on that planet, so we're going to go there next. Should be fun. Now we need to find the hunting lodge and check that out and see if we can't find the Twi'lek hunter that is there, because apparently he goes to the Eastern Dune Sea from time to time, and he might be a big help on trying to take down this crate dragon, which sounds like it just might be a very, very tough battle if they're as big as we keep hearing. To the Ebon Hawk. I love that you're able to explore the Ebon Hawk, just like you could explore the Normandy in Mass Effect. That was really cool too. You run around to the different portions of the Ebon Hawk and talk to your characters on it, just like you can in Mass Effect, and you get to know them and you get to learn their stories and everything. Get to know them with more depth. Hello, mission.
What can I do for you? I'm worried about Griff and his latest plan. I got a bad feeling about it. He doesn't know anything about brewing Teresian ale, and now he's got himself mixed up with the exchange. Sometimes Griff can be so stupid. Part of me just wants to let him get what's coming to him. Why not? He turned his back on me. He abandoned me on Terrace, so maybe I should just leave him high and dry now. Maybe a couple broken kneecaps will do him some good. Maybe that's just the kind of jolt he needs to turn his life around. Only, what if they do something worse? They might kill him. I don't want him to die. He doesn't deserve that. But I just can't keep supporting his crazy schemes. Someone has to teach him a lesson. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not gonna change him. Griff is gonna keep on being Griff. Maybe if we get these tack glands for him, things will work out. Or maybe he'll finally see the light and turn over a new leaf. I know it's not likely, but it's all I have to hope for.
Okay, so we convinced her to not lose all faith in her brother just yet.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Well, I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating. They were so very alive, so full of hope and energy and zeal. In retrospect, I can see it was a little bit tragic. Well, yes. These Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished in the fighting, but to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods. I know that. I was using poetic license. But those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long. The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle continues. The oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations. Of course it was. They took their frustrations and hate out on us because the people they wanted had already fled or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we suffered. Oh no. But I am sorry. I should not have outbursts like that. Don't you see? The very fact I mentioned it means it has its influence. Anger can lead to the dark side, and I must be ever careful that I do not fall back into those ways. I thank you for your support. My outburst was uncalled for, but you did not lash back at me. You are a much better Jedi than I, it would seem. But let us not speak more of this now. We should continue on our journey. Perhaps later we will talk again.
Okay, so we learned a little bit more about Juhani, her planet, her backstory, and all that kind of stuff. I think I came here to... Yep. Someone put a shipment of Gizka on the thing and on board the ship, and it came over, and it came open. Those things breed like rabbits, so they're all over the goddamn ship now. And we're going to have to find some poor sap to dump them on at some point. That should be fun. That's actually a side quest. There's a couple more side quests you can get into that don't involve any of the planets, kind of like the Gizka thing. Although you come here, that's where you get the Gizka, but...
Yes, what's on your mind? I'm not really sure, but you can figure it out on your own, can't you? Yes, what's on your... You got it.
How can I help? Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most Padawans are. As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Talravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged. Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly. Emotional entanglements can be dangerous. They can impair rational thought. They can lead to outbursts of uncontrolled emotion. A Jedi must be above such things. It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time. I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her and the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken. A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter. Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission.
And we learned a little bit more about her as well. I'll talk about her history and how she joined the Jedi. You can keep coming back and talking to them at different times to gain more and more stories from their past if you so choose. Here I'm going to try to fix HK-47. That's why I saved before I did this. And I'm ultimately going to fail, as I recall.
Statement. HK... Statement. I have little knowledge of that to impart, Master. Statement. Statement. Qualification. That does not mean I'm... Answer. There have been... The fact that my... Answer. I have said... Answer. You may... The deeper conjecture. Answer. Simply tell me that you wish to make the attempt, Master, and I will attempt to walk you through it. Please do be careful. Affirmative. If you believe your skills are up to the task, Master, then I can certainly guide you through the process. Request. I only ask that you be oh so very careful, Master. I am too valuable and well-crafted to perish at the hands of ineptitude. Negatory. No, Master. You are not a droid, however, and therefore your skills are limited by the physical capabilities of your meatbag extremities, or some such. Statement. As you wish, Master. The first stage is the simple one, and that is accessing my central control cluster. This may take a while. First, you will need to open 3 panels. Now close the last panel. I am afraid the operation did not succeed, Master, though it was a valiant attempt for a meatbag. Supplication. Perhaps it would be best if you desisted your efforts for the moment, Master. This seems to be going nowhere. As you desire, Master. I cannot help but claim a small amount of relief. Signing off.
And I failed. Thank you everybody for watching this episode of Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would be greatly appreciated. We will talk to you guys next time. Thanks everybody and goodbye.